भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयामदेवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः सुष्ठुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेमदेवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Fourth chapter. अथ हैनं सौर्यायणीम् गार्ग्यः पप्रच्छ भगवन्नेतस्मिन् पुरुषे कानि स्वपन्ति कान्यस्मिन् जाग्रति कतर एष देवः स्वप्नान् पश्यति कस्य एतत् सुखं भवति कस्मिन्नु सर्वे सम्प्रतिष्ठिता भवन्तीति तस्मै सहोवाच यथा गार्ग्यमरीचयः सर्वम् परे देवे मनसि एकीभवति तेन तर्ह्येष पुरुषः न शृणोति न पश्यति न जिघ्रति न रसयते न स्पृशते न अभिवदते नादत्ते न आनन्दयते न विसृजते न इयायते स्वपितीत्याचक्षते. The fourth student, Sauryayani, is asking 5 questions centered on the dream and the sleep of an individual. First he asks, during dream, what are the things that are asleep? What are the things that are awake? Swapnakale kani karanani swapanti kani karanani jagrati. And who is experiencing the swapna? Kaha devaha swapnan anubhavati. And who is experiencing this swapna? These 3 questions are centered on swapnavastha. The 4th question is centered on sushupti. Kasya etat sukham bhavati. We have to supply when the swapna has ended, when everything is resolved, there is a sushupti sukham. Etat sukham kasya bhavati. The 3 questions deal with swapna. 1 question deals with sushupti. Then the 5th question is dealing with the turiyam, in which adhishthanam everything is resolved in the end. Kasmin sampratisthitaah bhavanti. Thus 5 questions are asked dealing with swapna, sushupti and turiyam. And because of the turiyam question alone, this chapter is put in Vedantic section. And In the second mantra, we saw the first question was answered. What was the first question? What are the organs that are sleeping at the time of dream? The sleeping of the organs is nothing but they remaining without any function. Nirvyaparaha eva swapaha. So what are the organs which become non-functional at the time of dream? And the answer was the pancha jnanendriyani, pancha karmendriyani cha. The 5 sense organs of knowledge and action go to sleep, which means these 10 sense organs become non-functional. How do you know that they are not functioning? Very simple. If they were functioning, whatever experience would have come, those experiences are not coming. Therefore, we know that they are not functioning. If eyes were functioning, I would have experienced Rupam. Rupa darshana abhavat chakshuhu na pashyati. That was what was said in the end. Na shrinoti, na pashyati, na rasayate. And no function is taking place, and therefore we conclude that these organs are sleeping. Thus, the first question has been answered in the second mantra. Now we have to find the answer for the second question. What is the second question? What are the organs that are awake during dream? That is, Kani Asmin Jagrati. Asmin referring to Purushe. Kani Karanani Asmin Purushe. Jagrati. When? Swapna Kale, that understood. Swapna Kale. Now we will see the answer in the third and fourth mantra. Third and fourth mantra are answer to the second question. We will read. Pranagnaya eva etasmin pure jagrati garha patyo hava esha apanaha Vyanaha anvaharya pachanaha yad garha patyat praniyate pranayana dahavaniya pranaha yaduchu. Okay, that we will read later. So what are the organs that are awake during dream is the question, and the answer is going to be the pancha pranas along with the mind. Pancha prana manaha cha jagrati. And jagrati means what? What was the meaning of going to sleep? We said going to sleep means becoming non-functional. Keeping awake therefore means continuing their function. Jagrati means therefore they do their function. Savyaparaha tishtanti. Anga nirvyaparaha bhavanti. Inga savyaparaha tishtanti. They remain functional. Okay. The Upanishad could have simply made that statement that all these 6 karanams, pancha pranas plus mind, are continuing to function Sonapuram. But the Upanishad is going to use a highly imaginative description. And in this imagery, the Upanishad sees that all these 6 organs are doing Agnihotra Yajna. They are all functioning. But the Upanishad is looking at the whole function as an Agnihotra Yajna. Agnihotra is a simple yajna in which oblations are poured into fire. It is to be done by a grihastha daily twice, and 2 ahutis are to be offered, 2 oblations. It is supposed to be the simplest yajna, taking 5 to 10 minutes only. And 2 ahutis are given in the morning and in the evening. And here we have 6 factors. Because whenever we talk about yajna, one thing that is involved is the fire. And the fire, according to our ritualistic language, is threefold. I have talked about it before also. Different types of rituals require different types of fire. And different types of fire means the method of kindling is different. The method of or the type of homa kunda is different. And even the type of mantra to be chanted at the time of kindling is different. For example, the moment a person gets married, he is supposed to kindle a fire for the sake of doing varieties of rituals. Later, he has to start kindling the fire. And this fire will have to be maintained throughout his life. And this can be removed only in 2 occasions. If we take sannyasa, this Agni can be sacrificed and he becomes Niragnihi. The word Niragni, do you remember? Came in the 6th chapter of Gita. Anashrita karma phalam karyam karma karoti yaha sa sannyasi cha yogi cha na niragnir na chakriyaha. Thus, when the grihastha takes sannyasa, he can renounce, that too ritualistically renounce, because he has taken the fire ritualistically, and therefore he has to renounce it and become Niragni. Or, if he doesn't take sannyasa, the fire is used to burn his body when he dies. Because for a sannyasi, burning is prohibited. Sannyasi's shariram should not be burnt according to Shastra. Either bury or put in the river or do something, throw in the forest, but it should not be burnt. Why sannyasi's body is not burnt? The reason is this: the burning has to be done by his household fire. Since he doesn't have a household fire at all, he is not supposed to be burned. Thus, this Agni, which is kindled at the time of wedding, can be disposed of along with his body, and that is why burning also becomes a samskara for the grihastha. Because it is not a disposal of the body, but it is another ritual known as Antyeshti Samskara. And a sannyasi cannot be burnt because fire is not there, and the sannyasi need not be burned because he doesn't require samskara. He is Nitya Samskrita Atma Swarupaha. Why should he have these kinds of rituals? Anyway, that is incidental. What I want to emphasize here is, there is one type of fire which is kindled during wedding through a ritual called Agni Adhanam. Agni Adhanam, they call it. And from that day of wedding, the ritual starts, in which he has to do all the samskaras, Paka Yajna, Havir Yajna, Soma Yagas, 21 types of yagas he has to do. Nathan Grihastha status is complete. 21 types of yagas are pere namu theriyadhu. And since this fire continues in the griham, in the house, it is called Grihapatihi, and therefore it is called Garhapatyagnihi. So Garhapatyagnihi is the permanent fire which is maintained in the griham by a grihastha throughout his life. That fire should not be put out under any condition, but if it gets put out, it is a dosha for which prayaschitam has to be done. And after doing prayaschitta, he has to kindle the fire again from another grihastha. Again he has to go to another grihastha who is maintaining. This is Garhapatyagni. And in this Garhapatyagni, rituals are not directly done. From this Garhapatyagni, fresh fire is kindled for doing daily Agnihotra, etc. Therefore, he has to light up from that Garhapatyagni, which has been put in a pot or a mud pot or something. From that he has to kindle the fire and create a fresh Homa Kunda and do his daily Agnihotra, the ritual. And that new fire, which is kindled daily for the sake of his Nitya Agnihotra, the karma, or any other yaga, etc., that is called Ahavaniyagnihi. Ahavaniyagnihi, in which the daily rituals plus other rituals are done, especially the Shrauta karmas are done. And what they should do is, they have to take the fire from Garhapatyagni, do the ritual, and that remaining fire has to be again added back to Garhapatyagni. Next day again kindle and put back. And there is another type of fire also kindled for certain other types of ritual, which is known as Dakshinagnihi. And it is known as Dakshinagnihi because during the performance of rituals, this fire is always kept on the Dakshina side, on the southern side, that is the right hand side of the Yajamana. If he is facing the east, his right hand side is called south, that is Dakshina. On his right hand side, that is the southern side, that Agni has to be kept. Normally, Ahavaniya Agni is kept where? Right in front, but Dakshina Agni must be kept on the right hand side. Thus, in the ritualistic section, we talk about the 3 Garhapatya. Don't ask why idella inge solrer. Mantrathula vandirukku. Otherwise, I would be the one to avoid it. I know that most of them has no relevance nowadays, but at least theoretically we can know, and it is occurring in this mantra. So 3 fires are talked about, another 2 are also there. Ipo inge 3 da. 5 fires came in Kathopanishad, Panchagnayo yecha trinachiketaha. There I said 2 more fires, but here 3 alone are mentioned. Garhapatya, Ahavaniya and Dakshinagni. Dakshina. Okay. And this Dakshinagni is known by another name also, and that is unpronounceable long name, Anvaharya Pachanaha. Anvaharya Pachanaha. In the textbook it is there. Copy pannikalam. Anvaharya Pachanaha. It is called Anvaharya Pachanaha because during ritual, some of the oblations have to be cooked in that fire itself. And that oblation is called Anvaharya oblation. Anvaharyam Pachyate Asmin iti Anvaharya Pachanaha. The oblations called Anvaharyam is cooked in that Dakshinagni, and therefore it is called Anvaharya Pachanaha. So these 3 fires are involved. Then the next factor involved is the hota. Because any ritual requires a priest who does the offering. He is called hota. Juhoti iti hota. The one who offers oblation is called hota. So 4th factor. Remember, we have got 6 factors to be equated. 3 Agnis. 4th one is hota. The 5th one is Yajamanaha. Yajamanaha means what? So that Grihastha, for whose sake the priest is doing the ritual, the one who is sponsoring that ritual, who is going to spend the money for the ritual, and who is going to reap the result of that ritual, that person is called Yajamanaha. The 5th factor. And the 6th factor is the punyam, the immediate phalam of the ritual is punya phalam. And lastly, the 7th factor, 7 varapordu, unnu kuda varum apparama. The 7th factor is, as a result of this punya phalam, the destination that a person reaches, that is Swargaha, the goal that is attained with the help of the punyam. Swarga phalam or Swarga destination, Swarga lokaha. These are the 7 factors involved in Agnihotra ritual. In dream also we have to find 7 factors to connect with the Agnihotra ritual. This is going to be done in this mantra. Okay, let us take one by one. The Pancha Pranas and mind are there. Of these Pancha Pranas, the Prana is connected to... No, Prana minna Apana is it is easier to understand. Apana is connected to Garhapatya Agnihi. Apana is what? The air that goes down. So when you inhale, the inhaled air is called apana. The inhalation is called apana. And that air alone goes down and later becomes the excretory prana also. Thus apana has 2 meanings. One is the air that is inhaled and later it goes and becomes the excretory air also, because of which excretion takes place. Thus from nostril onward up to downward. So this apana is called Garhapatya Agnihi. Okay. And then what is Ahavaniya Agnihi? Prana is compared to Ahavaniya Agnihi. And for this a logic also is given. That is the beauty. See, when you try to see Garhapatya and Ahavaniya, we find that Garhapatya is the first fire that is kindled and placed in the Agni Kunda or a pot. So that is Garhapatya Agni is put inside. And thereafterwards, from inside, the Ahavaniya is kindled and taken up. So Garhapatya is put inside, and then the fire is again taken. But when you take out, it gets the new name Ahavaniya. Similarly, Apana air goes inside as Garhapatya Agni, and later, when the very same air comes out through the nostril, that exhaled air will become Ahavaniya because it is coming from Garhapatya. Therefore, Garhapatya has entered in and it comes out as Ahavaniya Agnihi. So that's Apana and Prana we have seen. Then, the Vyana is compared to Dakshinagnihi. Anvaharya Pachanaha. Why? For this also a logic is given by Shankaracharya. It is said according to Shastra, the center of Vyana is Hridayam. Hridayam is the location of Vyana. Because you know Vyana stands for circulatory system, and circulation of blood or anything, it starts from here. That might be the reason. And then the Vyana comes out from the Hridayam through a special hole in the right hand side, Dakshina Bhage. Don't ask how do you know. The scriptures say, in some other Upanishad, it is said, Hridaya has got Panchadwaram. Of this Panchadwaram, through the right hand side Dwaram, Panchasushihi Vartate, Dakshina Sushi. Through the right side Dwaram, Vyana is coming out and pervading the system, it is said. Therefore, Vyana is on the Dakshina side, and Dakshinagni also is on the Dakshina side. Therefore, Vyana is compared to Dakshinagni. Okay, 3 over. Then what about Samanaha? Samanaha is compared to the Hota. Hota. Hotana, the priest who offers. Especially Agnihotra, priest is kept in mind. Okay. What does the Agnihotra priest do? He has got 2 oblations, and he properly takes care of these 2 ahutis by putting it in the right place. Ena ahuti pratipadayet. It came in Mundakopanishad. Yada lelayate kyartihi samidhe havyavahane. When the fire is well kindled, the priest has to offer 2 oblations, and that too in the proper place between the northern and southern side, he should offer the oblation we saw there. In short, the idea is the priest has to take care of 2 oblations. Similarly, we also have 2 ahutis, it seems. Inhalation and exhalation. The inhalation and exhalation, Uchvasa Nishvasau, are the 2 ahutis which are to be constantly operated properly. Just as these two ahutis are nitya karma, inhalation and exhalation, Paurnamiki inhalation, exhalation, solla mudiyuma? It is a nitya karma. And these Uchvasa Nishvasa are very well maintained by Samana Prana. So Samana is that Vayu, that digestive system. So the digestive system maintains the person in a healthy condition, because only through digestion we get very life. And by way of maintaining the system, it keeps the inhalation and exhalation going properly. If we fast, what will happen? The samana is affected, and if the samana is not maintained, before long, prana will go away. That samana is the one which keeps a person healthy, and by way of that maintains Ushvasa Nishvasa. And the very word samana is because Uchvasa Nishvasau samam nayati iti samana. Like whom? The priest who is maintaining the two offerings of the Agnihotra rituals properly. Similarly, samana, like a priest, maintains the Agnihotra ritual. We are all doing Agnihotra ritual. Two oblations are constantly maintained by breakfast, lunch, dinner. Sometimes big yagas come, as a festival feast. Normally Agnihotra is 2 oblations, sometimes 5 oblations, sometimes endless oblations. Okay, so 4th factor has been equated. Then the 5th one, we will come to Manaha. What is left out? Udanaha vanditla. That we will see later. Manaha is compared to the Yajamanaha. The mind is compared to the Yajamanaha. And why he is compared to Yajamanaha, we will see later. Then Udanaha is the next one. It is compared to the Punya Phalam. So mind is Yajamana, Udana is Punya Phalam. And then Swargaloka Sukham is there, Phalam, the destination. And here the destination is Sushupti, in which Kevalam Brahma is there, where all koshas are resolved. Sushupti is compared to the Phalam, in which we are one with Brahman, Brahma Praptihi. Sushupti na Brahman grartham. Or Sushupti Anandaha. Chona easier puriyam. Sushupti Anandaha. So now you have to connect these three. Idu moovima cheti padatam puriyam. When this Manas Yajamana performs the Agnihotra ritual, then what happens? Udana takes the mind away from Sukshma Shariram. Because it is the job of Udana to take the Jiva from one Shariram to another. Similarly here, Udana, the Punyam, takes the mind out of the Sukshma Shariram, and it takes to what? Sushupti, the Karana Shariram. So, Udana Punyam, Manaha, Sukshma Sharirad Udhritya, just as the Agnihotra Punyam takes the Jiva from this Shariram, and not only it takes away the Jiva from this Shariram, it takes to the Swargaloka also. Urdhvam Nayati in last section we saw. Similarly, Udana Prana take the mind. Who is the mind? Yajamana. Take the mind, Yajamana, away from Sukshma Sharira, and then it takes to Sushupti. And in Sushupti, what happens to the mind? Brahmana Eki Bhavati. Because it is resolved into Brahman. And how do you know it has mingled with Brahman? Brahma Anandam Anubhavati Sukham Aham Aswapsam Na Kinchid Avedisham. Because Sushupti Ananda does not come from Vishayas, because in the Sushupti, Vishayas are not there. Therefore the Ananda is coming from what? Atmananda or Brahmananda alone. So thus, the mind Yajamana is doing the Agnihotra ritual during dream, and as a result of that, the mind Yajamana is taken to Sushupti, and Brahmana Eki Bhutaha San Sushupti Sukham Anubhavati. This is the essence of these two mantras. Now we will see the meaning of the words. Etasmin pure pranagnayaha jagrati. Here puram means what? Shariram. Etasmin sharire pranagnayaha, the fires in the form of prana. So literally, what we should say is pranaha jagrati. But since pranas are going to be compared to Garhapatya, Ahavaniya, etc., the Upanishad uses the word prana agnayaha. Pranaha eva agnayaha, prana agnayaha. Jagrati, they keep functioning, they keep awake during dream. Okay. Then what are the Agnis? Garhapatyo hava yesha apanaha. Full stop. Or comma puttukana. Garhapatyo hava yesha apanaha. So Garhapatya is the apana prana, that is the air which is inhaled and which goes down. And Vyanaha Anvaharya Pachanaha. So Vyana, which is coming out through the southern side or the right hand side of the Hridayam, Dakshina Dwara Yat Agachyati, that one is Dakshinagnihi. Then Yat Garhapatyat Praniyate, Tat Ahavaniya Pranaha. So Ahavaniyaha, the Ahavaniya which is Garhapatyat Praniyate, which is born out of the Garhapatya. I have explained. So that Ahavaniya which is taken out of Garhapatya, that is nothing but pranaha. That Ahavaniyaha is nothing but pranaha. Pranaha means what? The exhaling air. So just as Ahavaniya comes out of the pot, the exhalation air also comes out of the Shariram. Just as Garhapatya goes inside the pot, similarly inhalation air goes inside. That inhalation is Garhapatya, exhalation is Ahavaniya. Then in between there is a word Pranayanat. Pranayanat is adjective to Garhapatyat. The word Pranayanam means the souls. Garhapatya is called a souls because it is the souls of Ahavaniya. So with this, three of them have been mentioned. Now in the next mantra, the other factors will be connected, that we will read. yaduchvasa nishvasau eta vahuti samam nayatiti sa samanaha manohavava yajamanaha sa enam yajamanam ishta phalameva udanaha sa enam yajamanam aharahar brahma gamayati. Samanaha saha. So samana is that, a definition of samanaha is given, is that yat uchvasa nishvasau samam nayati. So samana is that prana which is the digestive system. It is that digestive prana which equally maintains uchvasam and nishvasam. Uchvasam means breathing in, inhalation, and nishvasa means breathing out, exhalation. So yad means yasmat. Yasmat uchvasa nishvasau samam nayati. Iti means tasmat. Tasmat saha samanaha. So yasmat samam nayati, tasmat samanaha. Okay. And here uchvasa nishvasau are compared to what? Etau ahuti. So these two uchvasa nishvasau are like the ahuti oblation. Etau ahuti bhavataha. These are compared to oblations, and because of this comparison, samanaha is compared to hota. Therefore, you have to supply a sentence here, samanaha hota. So what is the logic? Because ushvasa and nishvasau are oblations, and therefore samana is compared to hota. Because uchvasa and nishvasau are taken care of by samana, ahutis are taken care of by hota. Therefore, if uchvasa and nishvasau are compared to ahuti, samana, the controller, must be compared to the hota. And therefore, samanaha hota. So, rendu sentence, etau ahuti samanaha hota. Etau nanartham, uchvasa nishvasau ahuti samanaha hota. So with this, samana prana has been defined. Then what is the next one? Manohavava yajamanaha. Full stop. Ella artham full stop vanam. In the previous sloka also, after apanaha there must be full stop. After anvaharya patanaha there must be full stop. Because it is description of each one of them. Manohavava yajamanaha. The mind is the yajamana. And Shankaracharya gives the reason. Yajamana alone handles all equipments. Similarly, mind alone handles all karanam. So whether it is jnanendriyam or karmendriyam, all are handled by what? The mind alone. Therefore, just as yajamana handles all types of karanam, the mind also handles all types of karanam. Therefore, manohavava yajamanaha. Then, ishtaphalam eva udanaha. So here, ishtam means yajnaha. Ishtam na ishtam anishtam grarthamilla. Ishtam means yajidhatoho nishpannam. Yajidhatoho tap pratyanta rupaha ishtam ishtapurtam manyamana varishtam. So ishtasya yagasya phalam ishtaphalam. And what is that? Punyam. So that ishtaphalam punyam is nothing but udanaha. Why they are compared? Because punyam is the one which carries the yajamana from one place to another place. From one loka to another loka. From ordinary sukha to better sukha. It is the punyam which is leading a person. Similarly, it is the udana which takes the yajamana from one place to another. That is from sukshma shariram to karana shariram, from swapna loka to sushupti loka. From the field of swapna avastha to the field of sushupti avastha, the udana takes, therefore it is compared to punyam. And that is said here, next sentence, saha yenam yajamanam. Saha means what? Saha udanaha. Yenam yajamanam. Yajamanam chidritam manorupam yajamanam. The yajamana in the form of mind. Aharaha brahma gamayati. Takes to Brahman. Here Brahman means sushupti. Gamayati means leads to, takes to. And here we should remember that during sushupti we are supposed to be one with Brahman. Why we are supposed to be one with Brahman? Because during sushupti we have not identified with any one of the anatma like sukshma shariram or karana shariram. It is the identification with anatma that takes us away from Brahman. So I say aham dehosmi and thereafter aham pranosmi, etc. So due to identification we are away from Brahman, and during sushupti all identifications are dropped, and therefore we are one with Brahman. But the only problem is we don't know that we are one with Brahman. And therefore only thing along with Brahman is ajnanam also. So ajnana sahite brahmani we are. Therefore in sushupti we are in ajnana upadikam brahma. Otherwise in sushupti we are one with Brahman without knowing it. And therefore that additional sukham is there. Sometimes we enjoy something nice, but you don't know it is not this that we wanted to enjoy. And thereafterwards they say this is what it is. Then you want to eat again. Then without knowing I enjoyed it. But this is that dish, after knowing that, knowingly you want to enjoy. Similarly, in Sushupti, Sata Saumya Sada Sampanno Bhavati, in Chandogya Sattadhyaya, it clearly said we are one with Brahman in Sushupti. Only thing is we don't know it. And since we are one with Brahman, we are enjoying the Anandam of Brahman. So Sushuptau, what we are experiencing is Brahmanandam only. Okay. And this is not once or twice. Aharaha Brahma Gamayati. So Aharaha means what? Daily this Udana takes a person to Sushupti, because daily Agnihotra ritual is done when we are dreaming. Okay. Daily Agnihotra ritual is done when we are dreaming, and as a result of ritual, immediately we get the phalam Sushupti. Adukapram Setam Bhuktva Swargalokam Vichalam Jagratavasthiki vandodrom. And then again we do Agnihotra ritual and go to this we are doing daily. Okay. Last one more point Shankaracharya mentions here. And here will be a problem. And what is that? All people are dreaming and going to sleep. Therefore, it will mean that all the people are doing the Agnihotra rituals. It will mean. And all the people are getting Brahma Prapti. It will mean. But Shankaracharya says, we should not take that way. This is to be applied only for the Upasakas. Because only for the Upasakas, this attitude is there. In the case of Anupasakas, we won't say they are doing Agnihotra ritual because in their vision, this attitude is not there. It is just like two people visiting the temple. One person has got Ishvara Buddhi and therefore he gets the Ananda, an extra pleasure he gets. But another person takes it as an archaeologist and he tries to find out how old the temple is and he wants to take a photograph. His Ananda is only worldly Ananda, but because of the additional attitude, we get a spiritual pleasure also. Similarly here also, for Upasaka alone, the Agnihotra attitude is there. Therefore, we will say, he alone does the Agnihotra ritual in dream. The other people, even though they dream, for them we cannot say they are doing Agnihotra ritual. Why? Because they don't have that attitude. So therefore, for an Upasaka, his entire life becomes an Agnihotra ritual. Daily, he does Agnihotra ritual. With this, the second question is answered. What is that? Tani asmin jagrati. Then we have to go to the third question. Who is experiencing this swapna? Whose answer will be coming in the next mantra, which we will see in the next class. Hari Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti